My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Center Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi, 38841. I'm under attack. People are driving parasites through me from a remote location. Remote control worms. I can also hear their voices. They're very hostile, demeaning. They keep threatening me and my family, premeditating our deaths. I'm very sick. I've been hit today in the brain and in my sexual organs. Being assault, harassed, saying it's my fault somehow. 13 years ago, I was kidnapped. People assimilated me into this hive mind. I'm an activist on Facebook and an author. I write a lot. I participated in politics a lot. Persuaded votes, policy, things like that. I just got hit. First in the brain and then in the sexual with worms. So people see me writing literature on Facebook, and they decided to install mind reading technology. I started hearing voices. Some were nice, some were hostile. I eventually started yelling at them, and they started to attack me physically, destroy my life. Ever since then, they have been stealing my intellectual property and torturing me. They make me sick all the time. They gave me worms, several different species. It appears that Scientology is doing this. This is what I've seen. So they have installed hive mind technology in my brain and in my central nervous system. I'm very sick. Get away from me, you're breaking the law. So there's more space in the universe than humans can see. There are 11 dimensions. We have biology in these extra dimensions. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. So when we die, we live on in these extra dimensions. Scientology is the practice of utilizing this biology before we die. They remove this biology from themselves while they are still alive, and they use technology and techniques to turn it into an extra dimensional vehicle. Someone from the Navy said they're never gonna know it's us. So Scientology is somehow they have employed the Navy as sort of a military presence. This technology allows them to do a few things. It allows them to create a hive mind. It interfaces with our neurology and links everyone to a computer. We can hear each other's thoughts, each other's visual processes, feel each other's emotions. We can even have sexual relations with each other. There are AIs and softwares that allow us to do this. You can actually look at an individual and they pop up on your in your mind. This technology also allows for the creation of surrogates, so the ability to drive other organisms. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms, and it also elevates their neurochemistry and artificially stimulates brain tissue. They can isolate and stimulate individual neurons, individual thought patterns. So that this artificial stimulation, artificially elevating or stimulating their neurochemistry, coupled with the fact that they practice Scientology and create surrogates for a living, says literally removing body parts from people, cutting body parts, installing technology inside of body parts, and they commit crimes against people constantly. This has created bad psychology. It's leading to issues like psychosis, delusions, irritability, anger, jealousy, greed, pettiness, machoism. These people are criminal. It has become a criminal enterprise. They do things like invade people's homes, invade people's privacies, stalk people. They practice Scientology on people illegally. They steal body parts and install devices inside of people. They torture people, rape people, murder people. They're using weapons of mass destruction, assault with a deadly weapon, attacking Americans on American soil, illegal human experimentation, destruction of private property. getting victim shamed and harassed. They assault me badly, and then they blame it on me. They do this over and over and over again, thousands and thousands of times. Because I was kidnapped. Well, a select few people can capitalize on my intellectual property. I wrote Crazy Bird Comics. I wrote the Environmental Creation Agency. I wrote Divine Currency, Alien Bob, Bug Bob, and several others. They like to steal biologies from people to create surrogates so they can use our extra dimensions for surrogate making. They turn it into a vehicle that they can drive themselves. They like to seek out famous people and people with authority, and they sell some of these biologies on the black market to other Scientologists. So famous people or attractive people or people with authority, they fetch a higher price than the normal population. Scientology has a surrogate farm. They call it a humus operation. They utilize biologies from multiple species to create surrogates. They also do this in the third dimension, in all dimensions. They're harassing me, talking about my sexual organs. These surrogate makers, they're liberal. They have an infatuation with removing sexual organs from people, giving people sex changes. This woman they call Helena, she's supposed to be Navy or something. I've seen her in a Navy outfit. Maybe she's not. I don't. She likes to give people sex changes. Her surrogates and her constituents. They're upper. We have sexual organs in the upper dimension. They torture people and rape people. Now I'm getting threatened. You're breaking the law. Get away from me. Well, select few people can steal my intellectual property. You're breaking the law. There's no way around it. There's conflict of interest. They're trying to say that I'm a bad person. It gives them the right to do this to me. I have never committed any crimes, not violent crimes, drug use that they exacerbate. I've been on medicine most of my life, sober. For most of my life, I went to seeing a psychiatrist every month and got prescribed medicine that kept me sober. I yelled at these people every night. They decided to attack me. They filled me full of worms in all dimensions. They're trying to lie, pass all kinds of false narratives, say I'm responsible for this and that, say it's my fault. They're committing crimes against me. Supposedly, my biology is fetched a high price for these people. Because I'm a genius, a literary genius. My intellectual property saves the world. I'm bad, sick. Our extra dimensions have special abilities. We have very powerful eyesight. We can see in 11 dimensions down to the molecular level. We can also go anywhere in the universe. And we can access inside of a human body. They have surrogates and devices and a disposition that allows them to interact with our biologies. They can see the inner workings of our biology. They can see our nervous system lighting up. They can see our brain functioning. Now they're going to try to turn my third dimension into a surrogate. You're breaking the law. Stop talking to me. You're breaking the law. They're victim shaming me, saying it's my fault. 13 years ago, I was assimilated into a hive mind. Some of these people were mean. They like to pick on people, harass people. Eventually, I started yelling at them. Stop. Get away from me. I did not accept their advances. I don't want to hear people's voices. I don't want to see things. They like to experiment on people's biology. No two alike. That one, he's a connoisseur of body parts. He has the technology to experience our biology. Hive mind technology allows us to experience each other's nervous system, our thoughts, our emotions, the way that our minds work, and the things that we see inside of our minds, using his heavenly abilities to watch our biologies function. He's using this technology to actually experience it. They can experience our thought patterns, memories, the way our brains work. All of our sensory perception organs are involved in creating a memory. Our taste, our smell, our sight, our hearing, and our feel, our touch. All these senses are involved in creating a memory. So when you go back and you experience your memories, you get it's a special feeling. It's like an aura or an essence. You taste, feel, hear, see, and feel, smell that memory. He can experience that in another person because we all have special flavors. Delusional. Their technology and their disposition is making them retarded. It's what they do for a living. They practice Scientology on people and they create surrogates. So multiple institutions are involved. There's media companies, radio companies, marketing companies, internet companies, tech companies, big businesses, the government, politicians, the CIA, the FBI, the military, and all these companies. Some of these companies have a conflict of interest. They want to make money by practicing Scientology on people, even people without their consent. Social media and marketing companies, they're practicing Scientology on people in an attempt to invade their privacy and to control their minds. So they invade their privacies to gain information about what this person is buying, the things that they purchase mostly, and the things that they would like to purchase. And then they try to stimulate their neurology in a way that increases their consumerism. Like they can increase, or they can stimulate impulses, desires, and emotions. It's part of this hive mind technology. And the government is also utilizing this technology for surveillance, for surrogate making purposes, and to control people's behavior. The military uses it for communication, for surrogate making, and they got some weird shit going on right now, especially the Navy. Torture. So does the CIA and the FBI. I didn't. I'm saying I did something wrong. That's a lie. There's a lie, and it's after the fact. They put me on the phone, and I wasn't having it. I'm not going to hear voices running their mouths to me constantly, and then other people being nice, talking about my interest, invading my privacy. That's just some of the Navy crews, not the whole thing. They're going down. Someone just said, "You're breaking the law." Yelled at them. They're using this shit as torture device. What's preservation in humans? They always have their torture victims out there. The way he does our biology is fucking disgusting. He cuts it off our heads. He won't let us practice Scientology. We got to have a little bitty Barbie doll. So the way our biologies work, Scientology was originally practiced by cleaving their biologies every 3 dimensions. So every 3 dimension, they'll cleave themselves and they'll get another biology. He's petty and jealous. He doesn't want us to have it. He doesn't want us to experience what he experienced so he can consider himself God because he got up here with a whole biology. So these people have brain damage and they're also artificially stimulating their damaged brain. Plus, they have a disposition which harms people. This is the only thing that changes their behavior. Either I can leave, which entails walking down the road, or I could sit here and make a video. I, I don't have any money. I don't have a vehicle. They made sure of that. They torture me and make me sick anytime I try to get ahead in life. And if I do achieve a goal, catastrophe happens. They have done this to me, my family, my neighbors, my coworkers, my community, all in an attempt to control their behavior and to control my environment. They like to poison me with worms and chemicals and objects. Y'all kidnapped me. Now you're saying that I'm doing something wrong, or I did something to you people. That's a lie. That's literally their excuse. So a lot of times in the past, they would stage events. They would make surrogates, or they would put people down here on my property and allow me to defend myself. They would torture me and allow me to defend myself. Either that, or they made they installed devices which, when I yelled at them, it actually hurt them, or they made my particles hurt them, or they allowed me to call down some weapon and hit my adversaries. Now they're saying I did something wrong to them. They're all artificially stimulating damaged brain tissue. Plus, they're abusing substances. All of our brains are wired up. Our neurons are wired up. They can stimulate thought patterns, control emotions, impulses, desires, demeanors. They can make us have a certain outlook on things, and they try to create these memories within us. Like they try to create a self-defense memory within me, or of anger, or things like that. And they do the same thing to these people, to other people. Mind control technology. She's a cow. People with old brains don't. We don't fall for this shit. We see the world as it is, not this bullshit. It's garbage. Bunch of people with isolated thought patterns being stimulated over and over and over again. Then they come up here and try to get off the hook. They try to excuse their behavior. They don't even know what's happening. They think it's natural. Salty.